Hello YouTubers, it's been a long time since I made a video, probably a couple of years. I have some subscribers now, 217 if I'm not wrong, so thank you very much for subscribing. YouTubing is not really something I do a lot, but I do like audio equipment. So today I am wanting to share with you a little bit of my audio journey and how I ended up with this in my hand and the most beautiful sound that I've heard so far. So to give you a brief, I got these headphones here. I finally bit the bullet, and I got some Sennheiser's HD 660 S2. And what I think what sold me is the improved bass response. You know, I read tons of reviews about the 600 series. And it was also always like mentioned that the bass wasn't deep enough and things like that. But this apparently Sennheiser went all the way to make the bass better on these. And I have to say, there's no shortage of bass on this if you can drive them properly. It's just phenomenal. You know, like the best sound I've ever heard on any headphones in my life, really. So I'm really happy with this. But once I got this, I was faced with a problem. I mean, I had this. It's a Hi-Fi hip DAC, and the combination wasn't great. I mean, it does do the job, but these really need to be driven a little bit better to sort of like give you all the sound. So I had this, and this is perfect for, you know, when I go to work and I have my IEMs and things. That's pretty good. And at home, I was hoping that this stack here would do the job of driving the Sennheisers. So this is the Topping L30 and E30. They've come out a while back and I've had this for years. But I don't really, although this is on my desk, I never really use this too much because I don't find them to be musical enough, and it gets fatiguing, so it's very harsh up high. I think Topping is very famous for, you know, the highs, the definition in the highs, but it's a little bit too bright for me. So I never really used this a lot, you know. So I was using, as I said, mostly the hip DAC, which has got a sweet sound, like much smoother up the top and a lot of bass, which I like. So then I couldn't use the stack, the Topping stack to drive these because, you know, I wasn't enjoying it. So what did I do? Well, I looked out in the market and I said, look, you know, I need to give these a try with the proper equipment. I need to match it. So I went ahead and I got the new Hip DAC 3. I got the Hi-Fi Griffin. I've got the Mojo 2. I had to do it, you know. People seem to go crazy about this, and it's not unwarranted. I'll explain in a minute. And I also got this amplifier here, which is the Zencan Signature. Just to try it, you know, because these are power-hungry headphones, like 300 ohms. And these are portable devices, you know, the Griffin, the Mojo 2, and the Hip DAC 3. They're all portable devices. And in my mind, they were like, you know, maybe it's not a good match for this. So, or in other words, they work, but they're not driving it to its potential. And yes, I think that's what I found out in my journey. So I got this as well, just to make sure that these were driven properly, you know. It's got good specs, high output, and I like the Hi-Fi sound signature from the Hip DAC mostly. So I was willing to give it a go. So I ended up with all these items here, trying to find a match for the Sennheisers. You know, I wanted to make sure that these were delivering the sound that they're capable of. So I tried everything. I was for a couple of weeks. I was just finding combinations and doing all sorts of listening. I listened to a lot of hours of music every day because I have I'm lucky enough to be able to use headphones during my work hours. So I've done like literally hundreds of hours listening to all sorts of combinations of you know, this or this with the Sennheisers, the Mojo or the Griffin, and then I went on to the Hip DAC and the Hip DAC 3. Just for reference, I then would put my AirPods Pro on, Max, sorry. And then I would put my AirPods Pro, and then for reference as well, I used the Ico 087s. These are amazing, like really punchy bass. And the One More quad drivers, which are one of my all-time favorite earbuds. I've had these for like so many years. I've used them a lot, and they're still holding on strong. And you know, they sound really good. So between all of these, oh, and I've got some more here. I've got some more stuff. The Sennheiser Momentum 3s, I think, yeah. Wireless, but you know, I use the wired one. And I've got my Beyerdynamic DT7770 Pros. I always struggle to say the name of these. And I really got these to play the bass because I just plug them into the amp. I don't bother the neighbors in these. I'm amazing for that kind of stuff. But for music, they're okay. They're fine, you know, maybe I'm spoiled. So, what combination, you know, after doing all these tests and all this kind of stuff, you know, trying to find a good pairing with these, what happened is like, the Mojo, for example, the Mojo is really good. The sound out of this is like different from anything else, you know, I don't know what they do. I mean, I read a little bit about the technology. It doesn't really have a DAC, an off-the-shelf DAC. It's got like their own circuitry on there with gates and things but whatever, you know, like there's this guy, Tom Watts or something, Robert Watts, I think, which is supposed to be like a sound guru, and he designs all this stuff. And there's a lot of hype around this. And I have to say, it's warranted, the hype. You know, because the sound of this is just different. It's the resolution is so high, you know, like the sounds clean and tight, and you can hear like little sounds here and there, and in a way that you can't really do with any other item that I've tried before. So really good. The only thing is that I think this is more of an IEM device, you know, so a lower impedance device maybe, because I never felt that this on its own, the Mojo 2 on its own, was powering the Sennheisers, the 60s S2, quite the way that they should be driven. You know, it's just, there was something in the sound that was sloppy. Maybe, is that the word? So with the Griffin, and with this pairing here, is better than this pairing here in some ways, because the Griffin can own the Sennheisers better. You know, it's just, it feels like it's not struggling as much as the Mojo to drive these, and that's evident especially in the low frequencies. Although the sound signature and timbre, they call it, of the Mojo is just nicer than the Griffin. The Griffin is more of a traditional sound. It sounds amazing, and it does drive the Sennheisers better than the Mojo. So, but you know, like, if you only have the Mojo and the Sennheisers, you're gonna be fine. You know, like, I heard hours and hours of music with this combination, and I didn't have any issues with it, other than I felt that there was something missing, right? So some impact missing. Like, it's almost like the Mojo couldn't really handle the Sennheisers. So what did I do? Well, I connected the Mojo to this amplifier here, the Zen Can Signature, and immediately I felt that this was able to drive these Sennheisers a lot better. But I didn't really like the sound too much. So to my surprise, my old topping L30, which I haven't really used too much because of the brightness of these two together. This with the Mojo connected to this, it's just like this the sweetest thing ever. You know, like you get all that Mojo juicy sound coming out of here, going through this amp here, which is a very clean amp, and it's powerful enough to drive the Sennheisers. And all of a sudden, the bass is tighter. So all that resolution is delivered now with authority, right? So, and what a difference! What a difference it made from using just the Mojo with the Sennheisers and the Mojo and the L30 and then the Sennheisers. Absolutely big improvement. And this is a dead cheap amplifier, you know, like this is not top of the range stuff or whatnot, but I don't know what, it's more than enough. It's absolutely, doesn't color the sound in any way. Everything just sounds crisp and with more authority, right? So all the good stuff that the Mojo delivers, but like step it up without changing the sound signature or anything like that. Just tighter. So yeah, so that's the end of my journey, really. You know, like, so that's gonna be that. You know, so this is gonna be the way that I'm gonna be listening to music from now on, and you know, until the bug bites me again. I think I will just stay with this stack for a little while. Although I'm thinking, if this is a really good amp, maybe Topping does a better amp than this, and I'm just thinking about it. Yeah, so that's my introduction. So I'll be making some videos. Today is a Sunday. I think I'll be making some videos. My videos are always like this, unscripted, just on the fly. I hope you enjoy them. I try to, you know, be as honest as I can, but and as impartial, you know. But all this is very subjective, and of course, people like different things and so on. But you know, that's a standard disclaimer. But I did try over the years a lot of gear, like dragonflies and dongles and BTR5, I think, and so on and so forth. And my favorite device is probably the Hip DAC. That's a really good one. But of course, it doesn't drive this. So now that I got this, I went on this journey to try and find something that would drive it properly. And I ended up with the Mojo together with the Topping L30, which I already had. So I'm really happy about it. And I mean, I use Qobuz, by the way, to listen to music, and I think it's far better than Spotify or YouTube Music. I also have a YouTube subscription, and I like, you know, YouTube in that sense. But the sound quality on Qobuz is just like so much better than anything, than Spotify for sure, and YouTube. I tried Apple Music, but I didn't really like the kind of music that they suggest. Yeah, so anyways, I guess I'll try, you know, I don't want to, you know, drag any further, you know, like, that's my journey. I ended up with this Sennheiser 660 S2, the Mojo 2, and just to spice things up, to help the Mojo drive these, the Topping L30. And this combination here is delivering, I mean, I cry in certain songs when I'm listening to music through these items, because it's just so real and emotional, and it's incredible that sound has come so far, and that with, okay, not cheap, but with, 1,000 euros, you can be having, like, I don't know how much better sound can get than this. It's absolutely insane, the quality, and it makes me emotional sometimes when I'm listening to music, and that's always a good sign. So yeah, so that's an introduction. I will be doing some more videos to review these items separately. Tune in to the channel. I mean, sometimes I toy with the idea of doing more YouTubes. So if you think that's a good idea, I look like a YouTuber. Yeah, put it down in the comments. Because who knows? I hope that there you guys out there like my reviews and stuff. Although I do ramble a bit, but yeah. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.